Hello, this is Aman Gupta from Department of Analytical Skills, a professor of quant and logical reasoning. Here to present a few flashy and fast short tricks on speed maths, which is very important with regard to your cracking the placement exams as well as the competitive exams. Let's start with the percentage first. Percentage. Now, let's say we need to find 20% of 360. Okay. Now we know that 1% of 360 is going to be 3.60. Okay. To find 1%, always make it a point to skip 2 digits from right side and then put a point there. So 1% is 3.60. 10%, to find 10% of any number, just skip 1 digit from right side and then put a point. So this becomes 36.0. 5% is going to be half of 10%, which is 18. 50% is going to be 10 times of 5%, which is 180. And 100% of any number is always the number itself, which is 360. So now we need to find 20% of 360. So clearly for 20% of all these 5 values, which is most suitable? 10%. So 10% is 36. 10% is 36. So clearly 20% has to be double of it. So 20% has to be double of 36, which is 72. Okay. Now let's say we need to find 75.6 is what percent of 360? Now 75.6 is what percent of 360? So clearly we know that 360, 1% is 3.60. We need to go to 75.6, which is very far off, right? So 10% is 36, 50% is 180. Now 50% being 180 is way too bigger than 75.6. So we need to stop at 10%. 10% is 36. So clearly we will require 10% to reach 72. Okay. So which means 20% is going to be double of 36, which is 72. Now how much deficit is left? 72. This is 75.6. So there's a deficit of 3.6. So 3.6 we need more. 3.6. And 3.6 we know that is nothing but 1%. 1% is 3.6. So clearly 75.6 is nothing but 21% of 360. Okay. So this is very important. Always to find the percentage, these 5 milestones are supremely important. 1% is always going to be a number where we'll skip 2 digits from right side and then we'll put the dot. 10% skip 1 digit from right side and then put the dot. 5% will be half of 10%. 50% is half of the given number 360 and 100% is the number itself. Okay. This was percentage. Now let's continue with next aspect of it, which is squaring and cubing. Next is squaring. Okay. Squaring means to multiply a number with itself. For example, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25. When you multiply a number by itself, what comes out is square as a result. Okay. Now suppose there's a number given to us, which is 25. Now 25 square, it's very easy. We know that it is 625. But what if the number is 85? Now number is 85. We need to find square of 85. To find it using traditional method, it will become very cumbersome. So there has to be a short trick to find the square of 85 within seconds. So how can we use that short trick to get the number at the quickest? We'll use here base method. Base method. Okay. Now base method says whatever easy convenient figure you can imagine which is in proximity with 85, okay, try to adjust it with that. Now we know that the easy approximate figure which is very convenient to us for calculation also is going to be 100, because 100 is in quite proximity with 85. It's very near to 85 and very easy peasy figure also. 100. Now this 85 is how much lesser than 100? 15. Okay. So if it is 15 lesser, subtract 15 further from it. It becomes 70. 70 into the base. The base chosen here is 100. 70 into base plus the deficit was how much? 185. The deficit was how much? 15. Now square of 15 is 225. So add that to 70 into base. It becomes 7225. As simple as that. Now suppose if the number is 15 more than 100, 115. Now again, the very convenient value which we can think of, which is in proximity with 115, is again 100. 100. Again we are using base method. 100. Now we know that this 115 is 15 more than the base chosen. 15 more, right? So because it is 15 more, add 15 to 115. It becomes 130. Initially we were subtracting 15 from 85, and now we are adding 15 further to 115. It becomes 130. Now 130 into the given base that we have chosen, which is 100, plus the surplus, it has to be squared. Previously we squared the deficit, now we are squaring the surplus. It is 15 square again, which is 225. So answer comes out to be 130 into 100, which is 13,000, plus 225, that amounts to 13225. The same phenomenon, the same approach is to be continued for other values also. Suppose if I take a value 215 square. Now clearly for 215 square, the base chosen has to be 200. And again it is how much more than 215? 15. So add 15 to 215. 215 plus 15. 230 into the chosen base. Chosen base is 200. Plus the square of the surplus, which is 15. This will become 225. So 230 into 200 will become 46,000, plus 225 will be 46225. Okay, so the topic is cubing, which is again very important and a part of speed maths also it is. Okay, cubing means when you multiply a number with itself and that multiplication happens 3 times. For example, there's a number x. When x is multiplied with x and then again with x, that means x is being multiplied 3 times with itself. So that comes out as cube. Cube means x raised to power 3. Okay. Cube of 2 is 2 into 2 into 2, which is 8. For 3 is 27 and so on. Right. Now, how to find the cube? Within seconds. Now, see, we have a number here, 21. We need to find cube of 21. Right. Now, for easy peasy values, which are smaller values, 2, 3, 4, it's very easy. All of you already know the cubes by heart. But then we have a value which is quite bigger, 21. So, we will first of all segregate this or split this in 2 parts. This is A and this is B. Now, we all know the cube of A plus B. The whole cube of A plus B is nothing but A cube. Then comes 3A square B. Then comes 3AB square. And lastly, we have B cube. Okay, and traditionally we always go from the right hand side to the left hand side. Okay, so what is B here? 1. So cube of 1 is going to be 1 itself. Then we have 3 into A. What is A here? 2. So 3 into 2 is 6. And then B square. B is 1. So B square is going to be again 1. So 3 into 2 into 1 is going to be 6. And then we have 3A square B. Now 3A square. A is 2. So A square comes out 4. 3 into 4 is 12. 12 into B. B is nothing but 1 here. 12 into 1 is 12. So this is going to be 2 here and 1 will be carried here. A cube. A is 2. So 2 cube is 8 plus 1 which was carried. That comes out 9261. This is cube of 21. So likewise, if we have a number given to us, just split it in 2 parts. We have here 1 part and here 1 part. And always make it a preference that you always split it after having skipped 1 digit from the right side. Okay. So we have A here, B here. Accordingly adjust it. It will come out to be A cube, then 3A square B, 3AB square, B cube. Use the formula, get the answer in a jiffy. Now suppose if 9261 is given to us and now we need to find the cube root of 9261. Cube root. Now clearly here denominator was 1. Anything raised to power 3 means 3 upon 1. Denominator was 1, so we were skipping 1 digit from right side. Here denominator is 3, so we will skip 3 digits from right side. Okay, now this is 9261. Now we know that 1 cube is going to be 1, 2 cube is going to be 8, 3 cube is going to be 7, 4 cube is 4, 5 cube is 5, 6 cube is 6. 7 cube is going to be 3. 8 cube is going to be 2 at ones place. 9 cube is going to be 9. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All the digits we have covered here. Now, tell me a number, the cube of which is going to be 9 or less than 9. It is going to be a number, the cube of which is going to be 9 or less than 9. It cannot be 3 here because 3 cube is 27. That's way bigger than 9. So we'll take here 2 because cube of 2 is 8. Now, ones place is filled with 1. If we check all these numbers, 1 at ones place is only coming in one case, which is 1 cube. So clearly this has to be 1. So answer is 9261 cube is nothing but 21. So this is it about speed maths, a very important chapter in regard to cracking placements as well as cracking the competitive exams, right? So stay tuned to our channel, keep learning, keep going ahead, keep notching up, think big, dream big.